Okay, so right now we just started off here, and the time is 12:16. So at that mark there, on the even minute marks, is the start of the coordinated movement 2 and 6. This video is going to be relatively long, but we're going to go through this and just walk it here for a moment. Now, I can put in a call on 2 and 6, and it doesn't make a difference. It's not letting it gap out. It is maintaining the coordinated time for the entire duration on here, which is okay. So I'm going to put on a call on 2, but not 6 here. So, okay, now here's the problem. We didn't go to 3 and 7 because there was no call. I'm going to put on a call for 4 and 8, and nothing's happening right now. I'm going to leave the call on 2 here. So, currently, according to time at 12:16, so we are half past the even minute. We should be running 3 and 7. Now, at the top of the odd minute, we're going to be running 4 and 8. So, there we go. 4 and 8 are currently running. Now 4, I've got constant call on here. So I'm going to drop 4 and have it gap out. I'm going to put another call on. So now I'm going to let it go. And that phase now will terminate as a gap out after, I think, let me see, why is it still holding? Oh, because 8's still on. I'm going to drop 8 here. So gap out. So that phase clean, full bore gapped out. Now the question is, did we have 2 phase 4 gap outs, or was it just reported at the end of the phase? So let's run this again. We're back to running 2 and 6, even though we are in the second half of the odd minute, which should be 1 and 5. At the top of the even minute will be 2 and 6. So I'm going to put a call on 4 and 8. So now coming in here, we are still running that 1-5 window, but because I don't have an opportunity right now, I can put a call in on 1. It's just going to log it as a call because it can't serve that. So now we're coming to the top of the even minute. Boom, 2 and 6. I'm going to even release phase 2, but it's just going to rest in here because it's during this coordinated portion, which those are the coordinated movements. This 2-1 is showing here. So it's just going to hold this, and that's fine. In fact, I will leave off call 2 and 6 just so we can see this. Now, what we're going to see is it's not going to go to 3 and 7 because nothing was there. So even though I'm in the second half of the even minute, which is when I should be serving 3 and 7, it's just still holding in 2 and 6. Now, it probably will end at the 15-second mark and get to 4 and 8 early. I forgot how the gap out works on a Siemens, but nope, it's going to hold it all the way through here. Sometimes we could let it go green early on 4 and 8 if that was an option, but right now it's just the main line's holding all the extra time. So 4 and 7, and I'm going to let these things gap out here. So there's a full legit gap out. I'm going to bring this back in. We have a minimum of 15 seconds, so wherever that min green is on there. Now I'm going to let this I'm going to hold these. Now there was a gap out that did occur. We saw that, right? But what I'm doing is my passage timer is still up here at 1. I'm going to let it force off because what's going to happen is it's going to come in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So it's going to 1 and 6 because there was call on there, and so that phase 4 and 8, they terminated as a force off, I think is what it said there. So now what happens, there's no call on 1 and 5, so they're going to gap out here after the minimum green, yellow, and then back to 2 and 6. So we are still ahead of the even minute if you look at the time right now. So that's all fine. We're still in that 1-5 window, but because those gapped out, it went back to the coordinated movement, and now we're officially in the coordinated window here. So the coordinated window for 2 and 6, we're just going to hold in green rest. Now 4 and 8, we're going to do them slightly differently. I'm going to drop call on 4 this time, and we're going to fiddle around with 8, and I'm going to try to let it gap a few times when it gets to it. This video is probably getting longer here, but what I need to do, okay, we're in still 2 and 1. Now, do you see this right here? So we got some things going on. So now we're in 3 and 7. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're in the 3-7 window, which is the second half of the even minute. When we come up to the odd minute here, which is the way that we're keeping time today, the odd minute is when 4 and 8 will start. 4 3, 2, 1. So here comes 4 and 8. The min green's counting up at the top of the left window there. So I'm going to let those things gap out several times. So passage 1, passage 0, gap out. I'm going to do it again, and I caught it just in time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing truly gap out. So we got a full legit gap out, and it gapped out early before the time was up. So what I want to see now is, based on the data that we collected for this video, we're going to see and take a look at the number of gap out events that we had for all of these different phases.